third funk pattern that uses this technique is what I was just playing then. You can see here we're continuing on with the idea of using the 3 notes and the third of the 3 being the hi-hat gliss. Okay, so once again we're in 16ths. Really slow, the pattern that I'm playing is this. Okay, so you can hear that it's a 2-bar phrase. What I'm doing in the first bar, okay, beat 1 is 1 E and A. Okay, so nothing too hard there. It's really in the second and the third beats that I use the technique. So I'm going 1 E and A, 2 E and A. Okay, so 2 E and A. The A of 2 gets the open note, and that is the accent, okay, which is what we've been drilling the entire time through this chapter. You know, the third of the 3 notes being the louder note. 1, 2, 3. Tap, release, snap. Okay, this is the technique we're using. 1, 2, 3, the third being the louder note. In this case, however, we play 2, then E and A with the gliss. 2 E and A. And you might just want to practice that on its own, just playing the downbeat with your foot, going 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1. Okay, so this, once again, is another application of using this technique. And then straight after that, we do 3 E and. Okay, so as I was saying before, we're using this in conjunction with the left foot. So 3 is the hi-hat chick with the left foot, 3 E is the tap, and then the accent straight after on 3 E and. 3 E and with a hi-hat gliss. And it stays open for all of beat 3 and. Okay, and we close the hi-hat at the same time we hit the backbeat on beat 4. And then at the end it's just 4 E and A 1, just to round it out. So that's the first bar. In the second bar, the first 2 beats are the same. We still play, okay, but then we play that figure where we play 2 E and A. We do that on beat 3 as well. So we go 2 E and A, 3 E and A. So, okay. So, and then we do that little 2 figure, which we started with at the very end on 4 E and. Okay, so realize that as much as we're focusing on this technique of playing 2 notes and then the loud note, or the second unit just doing the 1 note and then the loud note, remember that when you put it in a groove context, you really have to pay attention to where you're placing the left foot, that actual hi-hat chick in its own right. It's got to be smack right on the beat, because if you get kind of sloppy with the placement of that, then that's really going to flip the sound of the hi-hat, and it might not be given its true time value. If you come in late, the hi-hat gliss will be too long, and if you come in early, it'll be too short, and you'll kind of get these little split sounds, these little flams between the different instruments on the kit, and you don't really want that. So all up, nice and slow, we get this. So you can see now we've been through so many ways of using this technique in many different styles, and that's why I called it a drum kit applicable technique. I mean, in theory, you can use any technique on the drum kit, absolutely, but you'll just find as you go through there are 2 or 3 or maybe 4 techniques that we use all the time. That's one of them. The opposite of that, as I went through right at the start, going kind of like the Moller technique, doing the accent at the start instead of at the end. 1 E and. Okay, that was both of them. You know, we use the 3 pattern on the right in jazz. And as I went over with some of the Latin stuff, we quite often play doubles with the second of the double being louder, which once again is that release snap technique idea. Okay, so this is how it all comes into play.